Alright guys, welcome back to Monster Angling. Today I am going to be showing you guys how to cook a hot honey walleye. It is one of my favorite ways to eat fish. I learned this recipe during the summer while I was guiding. Now this is just a recipe that I really want to show you guys how to make because it is literally like 5 different ingredients and it tastes absolutely incredible. That's what we're going to be doing today, guys. Come along, let's get into it right now. So first of all, we are going to be cutting up some potatoes for some fries. So we're going to cut a flat part on the bottom of the potato. So that way it's nice and flat, it's not rolling around on you. And we're going to cut. Thinner the better, I find. It is crisping up so much better. Some guys like to make a bit wider fries, but yeah, today we're going to be trying to resemble like a McDonald's type fry. So basically I cut them into all these slivers here. Go through again. And while I'm doing this, I'm being very careful with my fingers. So we're going to be putting these into a bowl today. I think we're going to cut up about 5 potatoes. One of the biggest mistakes that I learned when I was guiding and cooking is that you do not want to rush, because that is when you're going to end up cutting yourself. And if you cut yourself, you can't really cook food. You don't want to be serving food if you're bleeding. I learned a valuable lesson during the summer from a good buddy, Cam Lomer. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So basically, if you rush, you're going to end up screwing up. Mind you, you don't want to be slow. You want to be efficient, but to learn something, you want to take your time. Then you're really going to pick up on it and you're going to do it right. So I find sometimes with these smaller potatoes, instead of doing like the whole potato at once, grab like 3 or 4 slivers of it, or slices or whatever we want to call it, and do that. Because then it's not going to slide around on you as much. I just find that makes it so much easier. And you'll see that I have a few extra ends and stuff here. I'm not too worried about that. I don't like using the ends. Some guys do, but I just personally don't. There's also guys that actually like to like make them into like chips and deep fry them, which is actually a really cool way of eating them too. So that's what we got so far. Dice these, cut a few ends up, and then we're gonna get the fries on, and then we'll start chopping up the fish. Okay, so I'll grab the rest of the fish here in a second. But basically, when I do a toss like this, I like to make it into smaller chunks. So I'm going to cut into about 1 to 2 inch long chunks, like so, like that. We're going to put it into this bowl right here. Okay, so last end. Now, I'm not giving you any fries, dude. So anyway, guys, I got the oil on right now. Just gonna let that heat up. I got fish all diced up. I got the fries cut up. And I'm going to now bag the fish. So while that oil is heating up here, we're going to put the fish in the bag. Get the Frank's Red Hot out. And that is going to be what we're going to use to make all that fish stick to the breading. So be very liberal with that. Mix that all up, like so. And that's just going to sit off to the side right now. So when we get closer to the time that we're actually going to put it in the oil, then we will add the flour. But for now, we're just going to let that sit, let that absorb all that Frank's, make it all nice and juicy. You can add like different spices and stuff to this. Like I know a lot of times when I cook it up, I'll put some garlic powder in there, or garlic plus, or like a roasted red pepper. But in this case, we're going very, very much bare bones and showing you guys that simplicity still tastes very, very good with this recipe. You can throw an oil or a fry into the oil, and that's kind of how you're going to tell when it's ready to put the rest of the fries in. It's not bubbling yet, so we still have a few minutes to go. But yeah, things are starting to come together now. I'm getting excited. So basically here, boys, I built a tinfoil tray to put the fries in. So I'm hoping that the fries fit on this side and the fish sits on this side. Now I could have used bowls, but I didn't really want to make a ton of extra dishes to have to clean up after this. So I like dishing it on the tin foil because basically once you're done with the tin foil, you can just chuck it out, and then there's just that many less dishes that you have to clean up at the end of the meal. Okay, I think these fries are ready here. I like to give them a good old shake. Just try to get some of that grease off of there. I'm gonna be using this all-purpose Greek seasoning today on my fries. And you want to apply it while the fries are still hot. So we got our fish here in the bag. We got this oil, which is pretty hot. We're gonna put it back on the burner here and turn it down for a second. We are going to add our flour. Do not be afraid to add more than enough flour. We're gonna close that bag up and give it the old shake. Oh yeah, boys and girls, we're ready. You do not want to add the flour too early, or else it'll get all soggy and make your fish all lumpy. So you want to put that in pretty much right before you're about to put it in the oil. Make sure the oil is nice and hot still. Look at that. Oh yeah. So typically for a toss, I like to cook the fish a little bit more than you would if you were just frying it and eating it. Just because when you toss the fish, you want it to be a little bit more firm just so it doesn't fall apart when you're doing so. So we're gonna let that get nice and crispy brown here. We'll do our other batch and then we're gonna get this thing tossing because this is gonna be so freaking good, guys. I can't even wait. Okay, and one of the most important things to do before you continue to use this pan is to give it a nice old wipe out, make it nice and clean. Okay, boys, so we're gonna take our honey here and Frank's Red Hot. We're going to toss this fish. We're gonna take some honey here, put it in the cup. Spoon would probably work much better for this. So we put that honey into the microwave here for 30 seconds just to make it nice and runny. So basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the pan back on, put the Franks in there. From there, then we're gonna put the honey in, and then we're gonna toss it. I'm excited. Okay, so we got our hot honey here, warm honey I should say. I'm gonna put this back on here. Like that, almost when it starts to like, not burn, but almost firm up a little bit. See, you can see it now, it's starting to boil, and that's good, that's what we want. Take that off, put our fish into there. Do some flips here. Make a little bit of a mess, but that's okay. There we go. Now we're gonna take our fish here, put it onto there to be served. Looks pretty darn good to me. All right, here it is. Hot honey walleye. That's just as good as I remember it. So good. Another one right there. Yeah, that's it. Then we got some of our regular fish here too. That's not tossed, it's just the regular stuff. Even just a Frank's cooked fish with Frank's battered in flour is so good, so good. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching the video today. Hope that you guys learned a thing or two about cooking walleyes, and this recipe is no joke. I appreciate you guys watching, and take care. We'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.